Okay, now we're going to start a brief section on what are called scatter plots. So the word scatter, right? Think things are scattered all over the place. Well, that can kind of be the case with these. So we talked about graphing lines, we talked about slope-intercept form of a line, plotting points. This is plotting points, but don't always make a line. But what we're going to do is we're going to find sort of a line that sort of describes them. You'll see. So straight up definition here, scatter plot is a graph that relates two different sets of data by displaying them as ordered pairs. So here, this one is one ordered pair here. Notice this kind of makes a line. And this down here kind of makes a line as well. So I have two different scatter plots on one. You can pick either one for your examples. But again, so total items sold millions for the year. This one is CDs. This one's albums, right? This one's CDs. Other way around. So anyway, again, notice a growth and a decrease. That's kind of what we're looking at here overall, is we're going to look for trends in them. And you'll see what I'm talking about. There's even a thing called a trend line. But it's a graph that relates two sets of data by displaying them as ordered pairs. Now, we talk about line of fit is a line on a scatter plot drawn near the points that shows correlation. We'll talk about what that means here too in just a second. But again, so we have, again, a line that sort of fits the points. Doesn't exactly fit it, sort of fits it. There's something called a line of best fit. We're not going to worry about that. It's a strange math formula. I mean, serious, like, it involves a lot more math than you're going to learn for quite a while. But right now, we're learning just line of fit. It's a really good line, or a trend line. What is important is this, though, is something called correlation. You can think of it as a connection between them, or the fact that they're related. So positive correlation, remember positive, negative slope, how positive slope goes up, left to right? Well, positive correlation goes up, left to right. It's a relationship between two variables in which y increases as x increases. This one is time and albums downloaded, right? But again, notice here, as x increases, so does y. This does not make a straight line. I know better. What we're going to work on, though, later on, well, soon, rather, today, actually, is looking for what's called again, a line of fit. Sort of overall, you might make a line that looks like this. It's a straight line, as straight as that can be, that shows overall it kind of fits them. And that one really didn't do that good of a job. We could actually probably draw a better one if I were to do that. Might look more like this. There we go. If that were a straight line. But again, positive correlation goes up, left to right. Just like slope, a negative correlation goes down from left to right. So relationship between two variables in which y decreases as x increases. Again, I know this doesn't make a line, but we're going to work on making a line that does kind of fit it. Again, a line of fit. Sometimes you get no correlation whatsoever. These are all over the place. There's no positive or negative correlation. No correlation at all. Lines random all over the place. You cannot draw a line that fits it. There's no correlation. Again, think about correlation as the word connection, so no connection. Now, I do want you to write this on the back of your vocab. This is how to make, so steps for writing, there we go, steps for writing your trend line. And we're going to make a trend line or a line of fit. Okay, so after you plot all the points, so do that first and do it accurately, double check yourself. Find a good y-intercept point, and we know what a y-intercept is. We've talked about that. This should be one that is actually easy to read point, not some weird decimals or fractions. This would be a point in the form of 0b, and we've talked about that when we did slope-intercept form. Find another good point that is kind of in the middle of the other points. Again, there should be a point that is easy to read, so something like 5.2, not something like 5.73 and 3/2, right? It should be easy to read. Again, not some weird decimal or fraction. Count, or this should say or, not for. Sorry about that. Count or calculate the slope. We know how to do that. We've done it. And then finally, write your line in the form of y equals mx plus b. Again, that's our slope-intercept form. We should definitely know how to do that. We just took a quiz over it. So write these, go ahead and pause here, write all these down, and we'll practice this together.